Hi guys, this week we're going to talk about writing great scenes, or it'll be a bit of a checklist. I don't know, it'll be the number of things you need to achieve to get your scene done. Sorry about that. First thing you've got to do when you're writing a great scene or writing a scene is know what the purpose of the scene is. The scene needs to exist. If the scene doesn't need to exist, you wouldn't have it in your film. So make sure the scene has a purpose. And you can write this down. This is like outlining just for your scene. What do you want to achieve? What information needs to be exchanged? Who's going to be in the scene? There's a very funny video about Patton Oswalt, who was in a scene just to get it started. So then he sat there like this. And he didn't move because he had nothing else to do in the scene. Get the people that don't need the scene, be in the scene out. Figure out a way of starting the scene that may not need a person to go, oh, here's Harry, and Harry walks in. Just have Harry walk in. Have a reason for Harry being there. But we're talking about the scene now. The purpose of the scene. What do we need the scene to achieve? Information. I've said this before, there's other videos, I'll link it at the end. Information needs to be exchanged in a scene. The audience has to learn something, or the character has to learn something, or they have to, exchange information with someone else. There's got to be a power imbalance where they were doing well, now they're not doing well. That sort of thing. You've got to be able to make sure that those things happen in a scene. The other thing you need to think about, and I've never discussed this before, is what scene leads into this. What has set up this scene? This is very important for the pace of your film. If you've got this car chase, and then we cut across to the hostage situation where the guy in the car is rushing to save someone, and you cut across to the hostage taker, and he's over the hostage, and he's been told by his friends that the rescuer's on his way. So now he's really tense. He's working hard, he's trying to get information out of the hostage. Cut back to the car chase. They're on the phone, they're talking to people, they're trying to get the police here. So fast scene. Imagine the jump you'd get if you went fast scene, real quiet scene. It would jar the audience. And that might be a great thing. Like in Gladiator, I think it's Gladiator, there's a big fight scene and Maximus is dying, and it cuts to him quietly riding on a horse, on horseback. And that's that main crazy hectic to something quiet. Think of the scene before and after the scene you're writing. So if you've got a fast scene, you might want to go to a fast scene. If you've got a slow scene, you might want to go to a fast scene. So the transitional cut is a jump. It's a mode of storytelling, whether we're going to be jarring or not. The other thing you need to do for a scene, and there's a video on this earlier, is get in late and leave early. You want to make sure that if there's any faffing about at the beginning, anything that's not really meant to be there, cut it off, move it into the scene. Can you do it non-verbally? Could you possibly, if someone's angry, don't have the waitress bring a cup of coffee in and be angry. During the conversation, have the anger come out. Have it something that's obvious in the way they talk, the way the mannerisms they're doing, that sort of stuff. So you don't have to state it all the time. You can condense those sorts of things and get rid of the unnecessary stuff at the start and unnecessary stuff at the end. The other thing you should look at, this is going to be a short video. We're leading up to Christmas. This one's being recorded on the 15th of December. It'll probably be shown very, very close to Christmas. I think I'm a week or two ahead. The other thing that you should keep in mind is how you come in and how you leave a scene. Tony Gilroy, and Dan Gilroy are masters of this sort of writing, where they do match cuts and transitions, and they do that really well. It's important for you to think of that as well. If we end on a close-up and then we cut to another close-up, that'll be a match cut. People will feel that those two things have been done nearly simultaneously. So if you want to get the feel that we're in a new area, go to a wider shot. You won't write down a wider shot, but you may put a little transitional thing beforehand. So in early, may have to go for a second or two more. So let's think of that. We've got someone's having an argument, and they're yelling and screaming at each other. It's very claustrophobic, and they're in a small room, and this person's hunched over. They're looking down, and someone's up behind them yelling. And then we go to the next scene, which is going to be in a restaurant. So it'll be a quieter scene as well. So you've got that jarring moment. So you may start with the waiter walks across the room and drops a bourbon and Coke in front of John McClane. Nice and quiet. And anyone, you don't have to say medium shot restaurant. People just know that that's going to be a medium shot. It's going to be someone walking through. They'll probably track them. They'll track them and they'll put a drink down. And that tells us visually and tells us reading that we're in a completely different thing, because we can rely on scene headers. And some people say, I always bold my scene headers because I want to make sure people know we're in a new scene. But if you do that transitional stuff as well, so if they miss the scene header, I don't bold scene headers. If they miss the scene header, they catch it. Oh, we're in a restaurant. Straight away, they know they're in a different place. So think of your transitional shots as well when you're writing your scene. Your dialogue, I'm a big fan, shorter dialogue. It'll be the second video on the very, very end. There's a really good one on writing great dialogue. Get your dialogue short. People tend to talk over each other. So if I want to make a point about something, this is possibly the only time I get to talk uninterrupted is on these videos. So if I want to make a point about something, that people will sort of go, oh, okay, I see, yeah, okay. And people tend to jump in. And, you know, people also tend to do things. They'll pick up a drink while they're talking. Or I, point to John McClane or Indigo Montoya. People tend to do things when they talk. So it's not a big block of text. So people sort of say, oh, I was the guy we went to school with, and Andre. Oh, yeah, Andre. And that's how people talk. So, but you don't say, remember when we went to school, there was a guy called Andre, the tall guy, played football. He was the centre back, I think. Well, I was talking to Steve the other day, and he said that he saw Andre, and that's a monologue, and that's not how people talk. And you can cut things down really a lot and get a lot more information across by people's interaction as well, people's expressions. So you can say, that guy was a centre back at school, and the other person goes, Andre, and you can say, surprised that Craig didn't remember. So then now we've got two pieces of information. Not only do we find out that Steve met the guy that they all went to school with called Andre, we now know that the guy Craig's talking to was surprised that Craig didn't remember Andre. One little bit more information in the scene and your shorter, sharper dialogue. If you'd be so kind to do the things, thank you. The Google algorithm's telling me that more and more people are watching the videos in length. So if you watch it all the way to the end, truly appreciated. Thank you for that. Like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Nick over to Griffiths Creative, which was the little banner. I'll put it back up here now. Leave comments there. I'll read out log lines that people leave over at Griffiths Creative. The hat is because I haven't shaved my head in a little while and I don't like myself with hair. And until next time, guys, keep writing and have a great end of year holiday. Bye.